Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Club for the Calcutta Races Autumn Meeting 5th day Sunday 16 November 2025 race preview. The first race of the day is the Regal Connection Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. First up, we're looking at Live It, Love It is by Dreamfield out of One Life to Love. Couple of starts for this sparingly raced colt, and previous winter season finished on 4th in race number 99, that was over 1100 meters. Had a solid restart in race number 27 during the monsoon season, where was leading the pack under the last 150 meters, where started to race all over the track and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Zalia, and Live It, Love It, the mount of Arbab, drawn 7. 2 is NRI Fantasy, who had 5 stars during the monsoon season. A better start was the second start that NRI Fantasy had. That was in race number 20, went over 1200 meters and finished on 2nd to Vince Angel. Then a start in race number 38, finished on 4th. And the start we are looking at where NRI Fantasy was planted at the gates, then took the turn in 11th spot, made some late gains, eventually finished on 8th of 11 runners. The winner was Happy Morning. Couple of runners, we got Amalfitana, Lahina, who have had 2 starts each. They have raced in the same races. In race number 2, Amalfitana finished on 4th, where Lahina finished on 7th. Last start Amalfitana and Lahina had was in race number 7, where Amalfitana was racing in 2nd spot under the last 100 meters, where dropped back slightly and eventually finished on 3rd. Lahina, on the other hand, was racing in 6th spot, then dropped back further and eventually finished on 8th of 8 runners. The winner was Jimmy B. Kashaban, Horace the Great, Diamond Gold are the 3 runners we got up next up. Kashaban was racing in 3rd spot. This is in race number 14 in the current season, where they went over 1100 meters. Eventually, Kashaban finished on 3rd. Horace the Great, this was 2nd start for Horace the Great. Earlier start finished on 2nd over here. Horace the Great, after being in 4th spot most while, plodded and eventually finished on 4th. And 8 Diamond Gold, who was racing in 5th spot, came up with a big run and eventually finished on 2nd. This was the 2nd start for Diamond Gold as well. 7 is God's Ten Divine, is a spelling raced filly. Earlier start in the previous season, finished on 5th in race number 181, and during the monsoon season had a start where was racing in patches, took the turn in 7th spot, then finished on 5th. We move on to the second race of the day, the Right Ahead Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality to be run over a distance of about 1600 meters. Couple of runners we are looking at. Solar Curian, sparingly raced filly, has had couple of starts in her career. Last start was taking a real time in race number 2, where Solar Curian came up late in the scene and the race was as good as over, but still did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. Line Up and Collect, who had a win in the last winter season, and this start Line Up and Collect, after being in 5th spot at the turn, made some late gains and finished on 3rd. 2 is Macchiato. Macchiato had a couple of starts during the monsoon season, unplaced in both those starts. A start in this season, that was in the opening race of the season, where Macchiato was in 6th spot, then tried to get involved, but then was only as good as could finish on 2nd last. The winner here was Jamaica. 3 runners from race number 7 in the current season: Fortune Warrior, Schwarzenegger and Dubai Prince. Fortune Warrior, this was the 2nd start for Fortune Warrior. Earlier start was unplaced in race number 6 over here after being in 3rd spot. Fortune Warrior finished on 4th, and Schwarzenegger, who had a start in race number 1, finished on 4th over here. Schwarzenegger took the turn in 5th spot and plodded into 5th, and 7 was Dubai Prince. This was the first start for Dubai Prince, was racing in 7th spot, eventually finished on 7th. The winner was Jimmy B. Moving on to the third race of the day, the Arabian Prince Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of about 2000 meters. First up, we're looking at Sea Smoke. Had a solitary start during the monsoon season where Sea Smoke went over 1400 meters and finished on 9th. The current season had a start in race number 8 where raced in over 1400 meters, was in last spot and eventually finished on last of 700. The winner was Gold Empire. 2 is Champagne Supernova. Champagne Supernova had a win in last season that was over 2000 meters where got the measure of Jazara. Then ran 7 in the Derby, 3rd in the Sun Ledger. Then had a start in race number 177 where finished on 4th. Had a solitary start during the monsoon season and a eye-catching start that was because just missed out in a 3-way photo, a head and a head separating Champagne Supernova and Good Deeds. 3 is Zarak, who came down from Pune, had 4 stars during the current Pune season, just concluded Pune season I should say, where Zarak last start was in race to 108, went over 2000 meters. Zarak was in 4th spot, was involved in a photo for the minors and just missed out and finished on 4th by a head and a neck. And Zarak, the mount of Imran Chistian, is drawn 4. 4 is Lucky 9. Lucky 9 had couple of stars during the monsoon season, 4th place effort in race number 21, and then in race number 26 Lucky 9 went on a start to finish mission and then was overtaken by Goodwill, who's another runner in the current race, and Lucky 9 did the next best thing, finished on 2nd by a distance. Five is Goodwill, who's by Deauville by Gloriosa, was a winner in race number 26 during the monsoon season, then was thrown in the deep end in the monsoon derby, was in 8th spot as the horses turned for home, then started to bridge the gap, but the race was already sewn up by the first 3. Goodwill finished on 5th. The mount of Vishal and Bunde today is Goodwill, drawn 6. Next up, we got Indian Jack. Indian Jack summered in Bangalore and 1 star during the Calcutta monsoon season for Indian Jack. Was in 3rd spot, then started to bridge the gap down the center, but Only Dreams had a sizable lead. Indian Jack just cut down the margin, but only could finish on 2nd. The mount of Mustaqim Alam is Indian Jack. 7 is Kitaro, who's by Excellent Art out of Coconella. Couple of stars during the monsoon season, a 2nd place effort in the 2nd start that Kitaro had this season. Started the season in race number 3 where Kitaro was in 2nd spot, then tried to match stride with Dance Along, but Kitaro could only come out 2nd better, almost 6 and 3/4 lengths behind Dance Along. Kitaro is the mount of visiting jockey Vinod Shinde and drawn 1. We move on to the 4th race of the day, the Ocean and Beyond Handicap for horses rated 61 to 86, rated 41 to 66, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1100 meters. First up, we're looking at couple of runners, Outlander and Matangi. Outlander had couple of starts during the monsoon season, 4th in each of his 2 starts, and last start was planted at the gates and took the turn in 8th spot and finished on 4th. Matangi had couple of 3 starts in fact. Earlier start was unplaced and then 2nd place effort in race number 44. Last start Matangi got into a ding-dong battle with Nishti, but came 2nd best in by a long neck. Matangi, the mount of Ashad Ashbar, and drawn 3. 3 runners in from race number 9. We had La Dominate, Watch My Stride, Roman Spirit. La Dominate was racing in 5th spot, dropped back a place and finished on 6th. And Roman Spirit, who was racing in mid-pack, then moved late into the scene and eventually got into 3rd. Watch My Stride was racing in 3rd spot, then dropped back and eventually finished on 5th. Next up, we got two runners, Skyforce, all-time legend Skyforce. This was a start during the monsoon season where in race number 28, Skyforce was slow into stride, was in fourth spot as the heads turned for home, then was produced down the center and finished on second. All-time legend was never really in this race, was racing in 10th spot for most while, finished close up 10th nonetheless, and the winner here was King of Mafia. Next up, we got K-Star. K-Star had 3 starts during the monsoon season, a second placed effort with the first start, then a couple of unplaced effort, and this season, K-Star started with a bang, went on a start to finish mission, and then was given a breather into the 600 meters and then kicked away from them, eventually had length and a quarter to spare over Clever Hans. Finally, we got 9 Superlative. Had a start in race number 30 during the monsoon season where Superlative was racing in 11th spot, made some late gains, eventually finished on 8th of 12 runners. The winner was Madras Czech. We move on to the fifth and feature race of the day, the Mayfowl Cup for horses 4-year-old and over, to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. A very classy renewal of the Mayfowl Cup. We got Black Eagle first up, who's won back-to-back races, one in the monsoon season in race number 54, and then to start the season off in race number 12 where staved off the challenge of Misty. Black Eagle carrying top weight to victory, the mount of Gaurav Singh, and King's Retreat, who has had a few starts during the monsoon season, and last start King's Retreat, after being in 4th spot, came out and finished on 3rd, the mount of Vishal and Bunde. Number 2 is High Command. High Command came down from Hyderabad, had a start in the monsoon season in race number 43 where he finished on 3rd to Dubai Princess over 1400 meters. Then in the Monsoon Cup, High Command was in 2nd spot. When asked to go, boy did he accelerate. Eventually had 7 1/4 lengths to spare over Satyavur. High Command today, the mount of Imran Chisti. High Command is by a litre more out of Harris. 3 years Trohila, Westerner Aristocrat out of Nickel Chrome, won a race in Bangalore, then came back to Calcutta in race number 17, went over 1400 meters, was practically lying last at the bend, then sliced the field down the center, took over the running, and it was all over. Pada shouting. Trohila got the measure of a decent type, which is Dubai Prince, by a good part of 5 lengths, the mount of Pete Trevor. We move on to the penultimate race for the day, the 6th race, Cambridge Handicap Division 1 for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First up, we got couple of runners, Clever Hans, Cash and Run. Clever Hans, who has had couple of starts in the current season in race number 4, finished on 2nd to K-Star. Last start, race number 16, went over 1100 meters, was in 9th spot, made some late gains and eventually finished on 5th. Cash and Run has been unplaced in both starts so far. Earlier start in race number 4, finished on 9. Over here, Cash and Run, after being in 8th spot, dropped back and finished on last of 9 runners. 2 as Brave Majesty, had 3 starts during the monsoon season. Brave Majesty unplaced in all 3 starts, but the better start was the last start that Brave Majesty had, went over 1200 meters. That was in race number 45. 6th spot at the turn, then made up a placing and eventually finished on 5th. The winner was Cat Whiskers. Couple of runners, Honey Cake and Dancing Queen. Honey Cake has had a couple of starts in the current season, a 12th placed effort in race number 6 and then 10th in the last start, which was in race number 11 over 1200 meters. Number 9, Dancing Queen was a winner in race number 2. Here, Dancing Queen was racing in 7th spot, stayed on in 7th. The winner was Cashier Luck, who went on a start to finish mission and never looked back. Next up is Sea of Charm. Sea of Charm had a couple of starts during the monsoon season and placed in both two starts. In this season, had a lung opener in race number 15 over 1100 meters, was in 10 spots in a clustered finish. As you can see, practically a blanket finish for the minors, and Sea of Charm finished on 10th of 14 runners. The winner here was Enola Holmes. 6 is Cool Daddy. Samid out of Chemical Romance won a race over a mile after being slow into stride during the monsoon season, getting a measure of global fashion, and since then a second place effort in next start, then fourth place effort in the last start. In this season, in race number 10, raced in 7th spot at the bend, then made up a placing and eventually finished on 6th of 8 runners. The winner was Togo. 7 is Jimmy B. Jimmy B, after racing in patches for most while, finally came good in the last start. Jimmy B was produced widest of all, then started to accelerate, and Ermod, who had a runaway lead, but there was no answer from Ermod for Jimmy B's acceleration. Jimmy B eventually had a couple of lengths to spare at the winning post. Today the mount of Vishal and Bunde, drawn 8. 8 is Midnight Blue. Midnight Blue has mostly raced in southern India, comes down with a couple of runs during the Mysore season, finished on 2nd in race number 9 in that season, and then race number 25 during the Mysore season. Was racing in front under the last 250 meters, where was overall eventually finished on 3rd. Midnight Blue, the mount of Suraj Naidu, is by Dreamfield out of Antananarivo. 10 is Oremelo. Oremelo had 3 starts during the monsoon season, unplaced in all 3 starts. And last start she raced was in race number 57, was in 7th spot at the turn, then made up a placing and eventually finished on 6th of 8 runners. The winner here was Don't Stop the Music. 11 is Kindred Spirit. Kindred Spirit started the Calcutta monsoon season with a win and couple of second place effort. This season had a lung opener, was racing in 4th spot. This was in race number 6 over 1100 meters, and eventually dropped back and finished on mid pack. The winner here was Kerry Gold. Kindred Spirit, the mount of Arman Khan, and drawn 5. 12 is Noori, who comes down here with runs in southern India. Noori is by Sanas Parakom out of Bostonia. And the start we are looking at is during the Madras season in race number 34 there. Over 1200 meters, was in 5th spot, then came out and finished on 2nd. Sibra, who had a runaway lead. Noori cut down the margin but was not close enough. Today the mount of Pete Trevor. Noori drawn 4. 13 is Rosalia. Rosalia had a solitary start during the Calcutta monsoon season in race number 27, where it was in 4th spot, started to bridge the gap, but Zalia was really far too good on that day, and Rosalia did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. 7th and last race of the day, the Cambridge Handicap Division 2. 4 horses rate 21 to 46, rate 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters, to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality. The first runner we are looking at is Victorious Omen. Had a win during the monsoon season, that was in race number 50, then an unplaced effort in the next start. This season had a lung opener in race number 8, where went on a start to finish mission, but into the last 250 meters, Victorious Omen dropped back, eventually finished on 4th to Gold Empire. Victorious Omen today the mount of Imran Jasti, and drawn 1. Next up we got Zambezi. Zambezi had a decent season last time out, picked up 3 wins, and Calcutta monsoon wasn't too bad, picked up a couple of stake money races, where in race number 15 finished on 2nd, and race number 26 finished on 4th. Then a couple of races where Zambezi was slow into stride. Last start was in race number 50, where Zambezi finished on 8th to Victorious Omen. 3 is Enchanting. Win legend out of Nannipari is Enchanting. Had a win during the Madras season in race number 15. Then the start we are looking at is from the Madras season in race number 33, where Enchanting was racing in 5th spot, eventually dropped back a place and finished on 6th of 8 runners. Enchanting the mount of Pete Trevor, drawn 10. 4 is Kashmir Silk, earlier known as Silk Stuff. Couple of starts for Kashmir Silk, and race number 6 finished on 6. And race number 11, the one we are looking at, went over 1200 meters, was in 4th spot, was racing in a forward position but then dropped back, eventually finished on 9th of 14 runners. The amount of Vishal and Bunde is Kashmir Silk. We got 3 runners. Sporting Trainer, Tusaw, Veneno. This is from race number 10, where Tusaw, after being in 5th spot, dropped back, eventually finished on 7. Sporting Trainer, second start for Sporting Trainer in this season. Earlier start finished on 4th. Over here, Sporting Trainer made up a placing after being in 6th spot at the bend, finished on 5th. And 8, Veneno, who was had a long lead coming to the home straight, then ran out of gas and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Togo. Seven is Queen of Mafia, earlier known as Annette. Couple of stars during the Calcutta monsoon season. Race number 15 finished on 3rd. To Galway Girl over 1600 meters. Last start was slow into stride, then was brushed up, was in 3rd spot as the heads turned for home, then finished on 3rd. The winner here was Oh My Darling. Number 9 is Power Racer. Power Racer had a solitary start in this season in race number 15, where was racing in patches and at the bend, was in 3rd spot, then again dropped back, eventually finished on 12th of 14 runners. The winner was Enola Holmes. Ten is Amaze and Inspire. Couple of stars during the just concluded Pune season. In race number 65, finished on 5th to Money Fair, and then last start was in race number 122, was in 3rd spot. Then when asked for an effort, dropped back and eventually finished on 5th. This was a start over 1400 meters. Amaze and Inspire today the mount of R.S. Bhatti. 11 is Presence. The Presence had 3 stars in the monsoon season. Couple of 3rd placed effort in the first 2 races, then finished on 4th. This season was slow into stride. This was in race number 3, went over 1400 meters, was 7th at the bend, then made up couple of placings and eventually finished on 5th of 9 runners. The winner was Dance Along. Finally, we got 12 Ermod, and Ermod is by French Navy out of Romania. Had a start in the Bangalore season, then this race in Calcutta was in race number 7. Went on a start to finish mission, was looking good until the last 250 meters, where was a late surge by Jimmy B, and Ermod was caught a little off guard, eventually finished on 2nd by a couple of lengths. The mount of Vinod Shinde and drawn 4. That's a lineup for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and see you at the races.